Good evening, everyone. Apopka High School welcomes you for the last time of Day 2 to Joe Sterling Gymnasium for game number 14 of the 14th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge, the event that puts the reputation of the Orlando Metro Conference on the line against some of the best talent in the greater Central Florida area. And representing the Florida contingency in this 14th game, wearing the gray jerseys, visitors on the scoreboard from Santa Fe Catholic, please welcome the Hawks. And wearing the white jerseys, home on the scoreboard, representing the Orlando Metro Conference from William R. Boone High School, please welcome the Braves. Let's meet the teams. We'll begin with our guests from Santa Fe, and we'll start at center with 6'4" junior, number 0, Jacob Lackey. At guard, 5'8" junior, number 1, Toby Lane. At guard, 6'4", senior number 2, Tate Darner. At guard, 6' senior number 3, Cyrus Nofala. And finally for the Hawks, at guard, 6'4" freshman number 4, Ethan Knox. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Boone Braves. Starting at small forward, 6'5" junior, number 2, Connor Summer. At point guard, 5'9" junior, number 3, Makari Massey. At guard, 5'11" senior, number 5, Tremaine Woods. At guard, 5'10" senior, number 10, Jude Orta. And finally, for the Braves, at forward, senior number 24, Will Cooley. The head coach of the Hawks in his 9th year with Santa Fe, Mr. Mike Bleeger, and for the Braves in his 10th year at Boone, Mr. David Martinson. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. We thank them for their dedicated service to our high school athletic programs and join them with our participating schools, reminding everyone to make great sportsmanship a part of this and every athletic competition. A reminder, those of you here in the arena, if you have friends or family who are back in Lakeland, elsewhere in Orlando, or anywhere in the world, you can direct them to nfhsnetwork.com or to our YouTube channel at Metro VSFL. Just open up the YouTube app on your favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device, search Metro VSFL, and we should come right up. And we'd like to welcome those of you who have done just that to the broadcast. My name is Mark Barchi. I am the media director and operations manager for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, and I am joined by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, ready to take you through this nightcap of Day 2 as we get a quick basket by Tate Darner to put the Hawks on the board.
And once again, thank you, Mark. Excellent job on the pregame festivities, the introductions. No dice on that, Trey. A second attempt. That was Orta with the second attempt. And so both these schools having high expectations. They're both schools that expect to go to the state playoffs, FHSA state playoffs. Of course, Santa Fe out of Lakeland. This is Santa Fe Catholic out of Lakeland as they turn the ball over. When in these lower level classifications this year, 2A District 5, they won 24-6 last year. They were a regional semifinalist, or if you prefer, a Sweet 16 team. 2-1 in this event, and they are led by the dynamic according to the press guy backcourt of Tate Darner at University of Chattanooga signee. And yes, Chattanooga is a D1 school in Southern Conference in Toby Lane. Hawks are expected to compete for the district and regional championship.
Braves on the board, courtesy of Connor Summer.
As always, and Darner is considered to have a high basketball IQ. Lane, on the other hand, is true tough as nails, a point guard, and he's a great creator for others.
3 for Toby Lane.
And speaking of the devil, huh, Mark?
Yes,
and he's also
I'm looking at a capsule here that says he's a 43% three-point shooter who is a pest. And there he is.
And he's also described in the press guy as a pest on the defensive end. Now we move over to Boone again. They are also a school always expected to at least contend for a playoff berth, as that tray does not drop, falls off the front. They're too short, not enough force. So a 5-2 lead for Santa Fe. And unfortunately, they did have a down season, this being Boone, only 13 and 12, so they did finish over 500, but barely. A district quarterfinalist, which means they lost in the first round of the district championship tournament, 5-6 in this tournament. And, of course, they are always been in the higher level, higher numbered classification.
Putback made by Will Cooley.
This year, 7A4. As we are now at 5-4, 2 minutes into this final game of day 2. And, of course, this is a new group, a lot of newcomers who don't have a lot of experience at the varsity level, but they have been in the Boone program for a couple years, most of them. As the spinning, running finger roll. Nice job by
John Orta adds 2 for the Braves.
And I think there's some of your experience in the Boone program.
Yeah, and Neil, if you've ever called a JV game, as I have, let me tell you, there is a difference between JV and varsity play.
Yeah, you could see that there, just much more smoother.
Foul is called against the Hawks, number 3, Cyrus Nofala.
But Coach
That's his first personal foul.
Coach Martison.
Excuse me, that's the Braves.
That's developed
number 3, that's Makari Massey's first personal
foul.
foul.
Coach Martison has developed a team with high energy, disciplined basketball IQ at its core, and they will play both ends of the court equally. So there's your previews, and we have a 6-5 lead now for Boone, scoring the last 4 points at Santa Fe in the colored jersey. Nice-looking jerseys, look like Texas A&M color scheme, the dark red and the gray. And pop.
3 for Tate Darner.
So there's the other member of the backcourt that we talked about. And now an 8-6 lead, make that 8-8. Second tie of the ball game.
Basket by Makari Massey.
So 2 ties, 2 leads in the early going. Scramble on the 4. Santa Fe comes up with it in the right corner. A 8-5 lead in this event for the Metro Conference team. Down into the corner. Down low, beautiful pass from Norfolk.
That's Nofala to Ethan Knox for 2.
So Ethan Knox has not signed yet. He's only a freshman, 6'4" guard. Number 7, 2028 class in the hoop vibe. And certainly showing why there. And now, well, it looked like Santa Fe was going to have an opportunity, but Boone plays just as hard defense.
John Orta steals a layup for the Braves.
So both teams with 2 turnovers, and we are tied 10-10. 3:50, first quarter. 1-on-1. Kickoff down low to Knox, who goes reverse.
Ethan Knox again on the Hawks layup.
12-10 lead now for Santa Fe, the Hawks. And again, remember, this is Santa Fe out of Lakeland, and they're actually officially Santa Fe Catholic out of Lakeland. No dice.
It's actually a school that I used to encounter a lot more often in my own high school days. I lived in Winter Haven growing up, went to All Saints, and Santa Fe was an opponent of ours pretty frequently. Of course, that was an eternity ago. No traveling call there. That
was Orta with the defensive presence. And Boone will go back to work after their first offensive rebound. Actually, their second offensive rebound. 2:50 remaining. Slash dash in the floating deuce.
Connor Summer adds 2.
12-12. We have encountered 4 ties throughout this first period.
No foul out with a white touch from the key. Can't get it to fall. Rebound this time goes to Massey. Going the other way. Dropping the tray. No, not there. But a second chance coming up. And Connor Summer draws contact on the second chance attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against Hawks number 5, Malachi Broffett. That's his first personal foul. The team's first. Broffett sneaking into the game when you weren't looking.
So we are tied at 12-12, 2:24 first quarter. And the stats also reflect that 12-12 tie. Both teams taking 11 field goals in total, both with 2 offensive rebounds, both with 2 turnovers. The only difference is a 5-3 advantage in defensive rebounds for Boone. Of course, now it's a 14-12 lead. Both free throws dropping for Darner.
Nothing there for Darner. Woods has the rebound for the Braves.
Chance for the Braves to take the lead.
KJ Foster getting harassed there by Darner. Gets rid of it to Orta.
Orta one-on-one now. Down low into the corner. That's
to the paint.
Bazisher.
Will Cooley can't get it, but got whacked on the wrist in the process. Foul is called against Hawks, number 4, Ethan Knox. That's his first personal foul, the team's second, and it sends Will Cooley to the line shooting 2.
So as you heard Mark say, that's Will Cooley at the line. He has 2 points. Of course, Mark Barchi is also the public address announcer for the Metro versus Florida Challenge. So that's why you're hearing him possibly with that microphone auditorium.
A little bit more boom than you would use just for regular broadcast announcing.
Play-by-play. So 1 of 2, Boone back in the lead, 15-12. 1:45 remaining. Boone on a 5-0 run as well. Santa Fe looking to answer, break that 5-0 run. Splits the leg off the dribble. That's Toby Lane trying to get that pass.
Dangerous bounce pass. Cohen Brubaker got in the way of that one and managed to make it go off the Hawks. So that'll be a turnover.
And I can hear Coach Bletcher over to my right. I can't hear exactly what he's saying, but I could get the gist, which was too fancy. Rejection, and Santa Fe now off and running. Back at the other end, into the corner. Right wing extended, Lane between the legs again. They rotate to that left wing. The man who started this, Foster, gives it up. The drive to the middle, back out, open tray for Broffett. Does not find the mark. Boone.
Foster got a piece of it. Managed to knock it out of bounds, but it will stay with the Braves. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter.
Braves looking for their largest lead by either team. They're now at 3. And now entering the game is St. Hilaire.
And Neil, it looks like we may be on track to have back-to-back competitive games that really do go down to the fourth quarter if this result bears out.
And this certainly will be an opportunity to bring that margin a little bit closer. Could even tie it on the tray. 35 seconds remaining. Swings through the lane. Lane swinging through the lane, and he gets hit.
Toby Lane is fouled on the attempt, and he will go to the line to shoot 2. The foul is called against Braves number 11, John Orta. John Orta, that's his first and the team's second.
Lane, the leading scorer for Santa Fe with 3 points. And does not get the roll on that first attempt.
Darner returns to the game for the Hawks.
Beautiful play by Lane, sweeping through that lane. And of course, one of two that cuts the lead to 15-13, aggressive. And so, of course, I guess we're going to settle in too, because as we said, Lane is one of the premier players. Definitely a D1 signee. And we're going to get, every time I say that name, I'm thinking what could be a better name for a basketball player than Lane, especially someone who's a point driving guard. But anyway, a little bit side humor there. 11 seconds
Toby
left.
Lane down the paint for two.
And no sooner do I speak of him, and he puts the lead, ties the game back at 15-all. And so
that takes us to the end of the first quarter. We are no closer to declaring a victor in this game than we were 8 minutes ago. 15-15 is your score after the end of one quarter here in Game 14 of the 14th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. We'll take this opportunity to thank our presenting sponsor. This year's Metro versus Florida Challenge is presented by Dr. St. Germain and his team at St. Germain Chiropractic, offering the best non-invasive healthcare services in the Central Florida, Orlando area. With most insurance accepted, they can help you with back and neck pain, headaches, auto accidents, slip and fall injuries, musculoskeletal conditions, and much more. When in pain, call St. Germain. We also thank their companion practice at Burn Fat Orlando, who challenges you to step on the scale with their money-back guarantee. If you don't lose weight in the first 10 days, they'll refund your money. Call them now at 855-889-THIN. That's 855-889-THIN to get the tools and guidance you need to achieve better health and your weight loss goals with an inviting atmosphere, friendly staff, and programs that help you take charge of your weight and your life. Again, 855-889-THIN, 855-889-THIN.
15-15 the score as we enter the second quarter. This is the last game, day 2. There will be 28 games in total, making up the 2024 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. And a 15-15 tie again. And we talked about this throughout the earlier games. Scott Williams, the Apopka coach, as well as the director of this event. It was his brainchild about 16 years ago. This is the 14th time we've had the event. And boy, that would have been a circus shot if it went in. But Orta gets the ball back, fade away, does not get it. Iron unkind twice. And we talked about earlier how Coach Williams, really he sets out when he does the matchups to try to create as competitive matchups as possible. And of course his team of Apopka played with
beautiful
Seminole.
Work there by Tremaine Woods, managing to bounce it off the knee of Malachi Prophet and get the rebound for the Braves.
So the previous game went down to the wire, Apopka winning. I believe it was a 4-point victory. And now this game, equally competitive through the first 8 minutes, 15-all. And not only is the score competitive, but so are the stats. The main ones that we keep here at the desk, as Boone will get a second shot. Nice rebounding under the boards. And drain the lane
for Macari Massey.
Neither team with more than a advantage of 2 in any of the stats.
And one! Toby Lane gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul is called against the Braves, number 12, Brian St. Hilaire. That's his first personal foul, the team's first of this quarter.
So the stats that we keep are 2-point field goal, 3-point field goal attempts, offensive and defensive rebounds, free throws, and turnovers. And again, my point is neither team with an advantage of more than 2 in any of those stats after one quarter. Speaking of offensive rebounds, there's the first in this quarter, third in total for Santa Fe, and they'll get a second. And
difficult pass is stripped by Orta on the way up. Still stays with Santa Fe. Checking into the game for the Braves, number 24, Will Cooley.
And the other measurement of the competitiveness, 6 ties, 6 lead changes.
And now finally the Braves catch a break. Trying to go coast to coast. John Orta waited too late to release that layup. Goes straight into the bottom of the rim. And now going coast to coast the other directions. Tate Darner didn't have any luck either, but he did draw contact. Foul is called against number 24, Will Cooley. That's his first personal foul, the team's second of this quarter, and Tate Darner will shoot 2. So the Hawks have been successful at drawing contact, and they have gotten themselves to the free throw line to keep them in this game. And the previous attempt was kind of the best case scenario. They had a 3-point play opportunity, missed it, but got the offensive rebound, got 2 more looks at the basket. Didn't convert any points, but it does show you the momentum in the favor of the Hawks, despite the fact they still trail by 1, but not anymore, as Darner hits his first.
And now an opportunity to take the lead. 6:10, second quarter.
2 for 2.
And
so there is the go-ahead free throw, and Darner procures the lead for the Hawks. Massey going one-on-one with Lane, trying to get the contact, and we're going to get a team control call. Charge is called against Makari Massey. That's his second personal foul, the team's fourth of this period. Third of this period.
So Boone, again, a young team in terms of varsity experience, but they have been in the Boone system for at least a couple of years, most of the players. 0-2, looking for their first victory, suffering losses to Timber Creek as well as Lake Howell. On the other side, Santa Fe coming in at 1-1, defeating Catherine and losing to Sarasota. That was a 1-point defeat. As launch
and for Ethan Knox. Boy, Ethan Knox has been waiting in the paint for the last couple of times that happened. This time he's waiting on the perimeter.
Knox averaging 19 points per game. And there you see why. Want to point out also Darnar, since we've talked so much about him, the University of Chattanooga commit, he's averaging 31 points per game. And Circus shot, but that was to draw a foul.
That's going to be another charge.
But it's not going to go that way.
Team control foul is called against Tremaine Woods. That's his first personal foul, the team's fourth. Toby Lane took that charge. Checking into the game for Boone, Cohen Brubaker. Under 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. And the Hawks currently in control of the momentum.
On a 10-3 run. Couple of trays in there. That one does not drop for Darnar. And back the other way Boone goes after the rebound. 22-18, the spin and the kiss off the glass.
Basket by Connor Summer.
So Summers cuts that lead at the other end. No dice on the tray. Skying for the rebound. Orta leads the charge on the other end. Can't get the accuracy. Lane ripping down that rebound. The point guard kicks it out into the corner to Darnar, the fabulous duo in the backcourt. Clanks off the rim. So a couple more possessions up and down the court. And no action. No points. And still no points. Right place, right time. That was Lackey, the 6'4" junior. Snagging that ball. Lane again spins while he's in the lane. Darnar from the corner can't find the rim on this one. A second offensive rebound. And now we finally get a timeout. Not a timeout, but a stoppage. And take a deep breath.
Checking into the game for the Hawks, KJ Foster.
So talked about the scoring for Santa Fe, who actually will continue with the possession. On the other side on Boone, they have 5 players averaging between 4 and 6.5, 4 and 8 points. So we definitely got 2 different styles here in terms of who's carrying the low point scoring. Santa Fe relying on 2 or 3, where Boone is certainly much deeper and balanced. 22-20, Santa Fe with the lead. The fadeaway from Lane kicks off the heel, and Orta, again, right place, right time, rips down that rebound. Quick outlet. And now they'll slow it down, at least in terms of the shot, how long they take to shoot. Looking for another shot or a strip. I think that was Lane who got in there at the other end. Foster with the pass and the withdrawal.
Foster to Knox for the Hawks basket.
And Foster again. Sleight of hand. This time he can't get it. Was off balance. Probably got a little too nervous there. The rebound. Skyward. Windex work. Back to the board, making the withdrawal.
And one. Connor Summer gets the second chance basket and a chance to make it a three-point play. The Hawks foul is called against number 1, Toby Lane, his first personal foul, the team's first of this quarter. Summer shooting one.
Lead back up to 24-22. Chance to get it up to 3 points. 2:51 before halftime. And if you're new to this event, it's very simple. It's based on the college challenges. You often see one conference matching up against the other. As Boone lead now 24-23 lead for Santa Fe. Off the rim, battle underneath, out of bounds. Battle between Orta and Lane. So there are 23 members in the Metro Conference, and it's not like college. There is no realignment. There is no discussions. When your school opens, if it's a public high school and located in Orange County, you automatically become a member. Innovation joined this year. The two schools before that, I believe that was 3 years ago, or maybe it was 4 years, was Lake Buena Vista and Horizon. 23 teams in total now. In each of these games, the 28, we'll have a Metro Conference team taking on a non-member, or as we call it, the Florida contingency. At the end of the 28 games, we will tally up who wins more games. Right now, it's 8-5 in favor of the Metro Conference. And we got 2:01 before halftime.
Foul called against Toby Lane is second, the team's second of this quarter.
24-23 lead for Santa Fe. 7 lead changes, 7 ties. As I mentioned before, Coach Williams, the director of this event, the Apopka coach, when he puts these matchups together, he's looking for competitiveness. And he certainly, at least through the first half of this one, did not miss. As Boone turns it over, Santa Fe chance to increase that lead from 1 point. 1:45 remaining, the handoff to Nafala. He goes back to Foster, driving, and someone got a hand in there. Right place, right time was Bravsar, and he leads the charge. The pass down low, the fake pass, and making the withdrawal.
Will Cooley.
So beautiful passing from Boone, who's looking to improve.
Full timeout requested by the Hawks.
Boone looking for its first win of the season. The Hawks, Santa Fe looking for a second. Right now it's nip and tuck, 25-24, 1:23 second quarter from Joe A. Sterling Gymnasium on Apopka campus.
We'll take this opportunity to thank Central Florida's #1 trusted ER, Advent Health, proud supporters of the Metro versus Florida Challenge. Sometimes life can take an unexpected turn. When it does, know that the area's most preferred ER is nearby. Our elite team of specialty trained physicians and critical care nurses are available 24/7 to care for any of life's thrills and spills. And Advent Health offers the most ER locations, so Central Florida's #1 ER is always within reach. Find your Advent Health ER at myclosester.com or scan the QR code in your digital program. Speaking of the digital program, have you downloaded it yet? We have the link available at the admission table. Just point your phone at that QR code. You can download our free digital program that has all of your roster, season previews, photos, event history, and more. Or you can go to our website and get it yourself directly. That's metrovsfl.com. Even if you're listening to us online right now on YouTube or the NFHS Network, pop open a second browser tab and head over to metrovsfl.com and look for that little button that says download the 2024 program.
Back to live action, a 25-24 lead for the Boone Braves over the Santa Fe Hawks out of Lakeland. And just that quickly, the lead changes hand on the
Tate
withdrawal.
Darner rolls in a layup.
Nice looking play for the University of Chattanooga commit. Back at the other end. No dice for Cooley trying to force that shot. And a foul on the rebound.
Fouls called against Will Cooley. That's his second personal foul, the team's fifth. Penalty situation. That will put the Hawks at the free throw line. And Ethan Knox will shoot two. So again, just in case you were on a Mountain Hermitage last year and missed the news, we have changed the way that bonus works. Now it is more like the NBA. We go to two-shot bonus on the fifth foul of the quarter, as opposed to the previous rules, which were more like NCAA women's, where you went to one-and-one bonus on the seventh of the half and then two-shot at the 10th of the half.
So Knox at the line. The precocious freshman, he buries the two, and the lead now 28-25 in favor of Santa Fe. 4 or 5 from the line for Santa Fe in this quarter. That's kept them abreast with that lead. 4 more free throw attempts than Boone. Through the lane as he went to make the move. That was Summer, and he got slapped. No, actually, he lowered the shoulder. And it's an offensive
foul is called against number 24, Will Cooley, on the player control foul. It's his third. No bonus shots on offensive fouls, but it does turn the ball over to the Hawks.
So Boone, 6 turnovers now in this quarter. 41 seconds remaining. Boone, again, looking for its first victory of the season. They come in 0-2, a young team. Hawks come in 1-1. Of course, looking to go to the next step. They were a Sweet 16 team last year. Stop, pop in the splash from Knox.
3 for Ethan Knox. 14 points for him. He's an early favorite for the Earl Graham MVP award if the Hawks should prevail.
20 seconds remaining. Now a 6-point lead for Santa Fe, largest of the game for either team. Down to 15.5 seconds. So Boone could use some points here heading into halftime. Build some momentum. Feel good about themselves at halftime and move on from there. 5-4-3 into the corner. Got to drive that lane, and there's your inexperience. They did not get the shot off.
That takes us to halftime, and it's a 6-point lead for the Hawks. 31-25. Santa Fe leads Boone, headed into the locker rooms here in Game 14 of the 14th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge, presented by Advent Health, St. Germain Chiropractic, and Burn Fat Orlando. Back with more from Joe Sterling Gymnasium after about an 8-minute break. We'll be right back. The Hawks have the opening possession of the third quarter. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher as we get ready to wrap up day 2 of the 14th annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. We're going to start with a turnover from the Hawks. The Braves take over with their first opportunity to cut into the lead, and they're going to turn it over too. So back-to-back turnovers to open up the third quarter here.
That's Lane. Drives through the lane, the slash and dash. Nice soft touch, gets the roll. Only a minute into the third quarter, so this will be the last half of day number 2 of the Metro versus Florida Challenge 2024 edition. Bouncing around, nice rebound as Nafala put himself in the right place, and at the other end, no question about that.
The Knox, dunk you very much. 16 for him now. He's got nearly half the Hawks' offensive production.
And the steal from Darner swings around, kisses the glass.
Tate Darner steals a layup for the Hawks.
And just that quickly, a 6-point lead becomes 12.
I don't know what energy drinks they had in the locker room for Santa Fe, but I think I want some. Answer from Boone. That's number 3, Akari Massey.
So much needed points for Boone. Cuts the lead back down to 10. Of course, if you're Boone right now, your goal is to get that lead down to single digits. Darnar took his eye off the ball for a minute. Now he takes his eye off and gets stolen from Woods at the other end. Boone dodges the proverbial bullet. Too much force off the backboard. Lane brings it down. Back over to Darnar. He'll settle down the offense, reset it, 1-on-1, and he intercepted in the middle. So now a couple of turnovers on 2 consecutive possessions. Through the lane, the soft bunny pass to Woods, score the deuce. No deuce. It was an offensive foul. So it's a turnover.
No basket. Player control foul is called against the Braves. Number 3, Makari Massey. That's his 3rd personal foul, the team's first of this quarter.
So Lane will bring the ball up. Boone goes back to its half-court man-to-man. 1-on-1.
Alley-oop. Uriah Newkirk to Cyrus Nafala.
Just that quick, the ball in the basket, 12-point lead again. Second time Santa Fe Catholics had that 12-point lead against Santa Fe out of Lakeland, coming off a 24-6 and Sweet 16 appearance in the playoffs. And we got a whistle.
Fouls called against Braves. Number 10, J.P. Bavsar. That's his first personal foul. The team's first of this period, and we'll pause for a full timeout. Full timeout requested by Boone. We'll take this opportunity to thank some of our other partners who helped make the Metro versus Florida Challenge possible, including the Foundation for Seminole State College, who wants to extend their appreciation to the Van Gundy family. The impact of the life of Kim Van Gundy has continued through Seminole State College. To honor her memory and continue her legacy of support for education and creativity, the Van Gundy family has generously donated 2 scholarships to Seminole State College. You can learn more about them by visiting the website of the Foundation for Seminole State College. Scan the QR code in your program to learn more about Kimberly J. Van Gundy Endowed Scholarships in Education and Interior Design. We also want to thank Williams Construction and Development, dedicated professionals, superior craftsmanship, and better building materials, as well as Winter Park Driving Academy, now offering road tests allowing student drivers to skip the DMV. Visit WPDriving.com to schedule a lesson for your student driver. And our clock got out of sync there. It's actually 5:10 remaining, so we'll get that synchronized for you right there.
So the inbound pass to Brubaker, and we are back to live action. Boone needing to cut into a 12-point lead. No dice, off the heel twice. And Lane, the guard, right place, right time, making himself a lot bigger than the 5'8", and that leads to the basket.
Lane on the pass to KJ Foster for 2.
So Boone, give them credit. They got the offensive rebounds, but they couldn't convert and gave up the easy basket at the other end. This time, though, it's Cooley.
Will Cooley adds 2 for the Braves.
Lead down to 12. 4.5 remaining, third quarter. Lane initiating contact. Down into the right corner, the handoff back to Newkirk, and a whistle and a turnover. So Boone with a chance again to cut into the lead. They're actually down by 13. The launch and the drain the rain from Brubaker.
From Cohen Brubaker.
So just what Boone needed and ordered. Lead down to 10. It's been a while since it's been down to 10. They've gotten it down to 10 a couple of times earlier in this third quarter. And floating through the lane and sweeping is Darner. That gets the lead back up to 12, where it's been for most of this quarter.
Foul called against Hawks. Number 11, Charlie Hedden. Excuse me, that's number 1, Toby Lane, his third. The team's second of this quarter, and that will send the Braves to the free throw line. Joan Orta shooting 2.
So Orta at the line with 8 points. 4 points. And this is the 2024 Metro versus Florida Challenge, the Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. As Cooley, Windex work, and
second
makes
chance basket for Will Cooley.
And we'll talk a little bit more about Earl Graham later in the contest. Earl Graham, the longtime assistant coach. He was Coach Williams' right-hand man when unfortunately he passed away in COVID in 2021, almost 4 years ago, as Cooley launches another one. Score it!
For Cohen Brubaker.
So just when it looked like that lead was going to get up there into about 14 or 15, Boone at least scores 5 and gets it back down to 7. At least 7 points, much more manageable than 15. And just that quickly, the answer for
Cyrus
Santa
Nofala
Fe.
to Jacob Lackey for a Hawks basket. We'll pause for a timeout.
And
30-second timeout requested by the Hawks.
So 23 teams in the Metro Conference. In order to be a member of the Metro Conference, you need to be a public high school and located in Orange County. There are no... Once your school opens and you meet those 2 criteria, you're a member. Each game, one of the schools from the Metro Conference takes on a non-member, the Florida contingency, and we add up who has the most at the end of the 28 games.
So this will wrap up day 2 for us here once we get through these last 10 minutes and 32 seconds.
So in the meantime, a 9-point lead, 2.5 minutes, third quarter. Santa Fe has been enjoying that lead since about a minute, 15 seconds in the first half. From the corner, rims in and out. And that was Darner ripping the rebound down. He brings it up himself, and he'll take the long-range tray. It rims in and out. Looks like a repeat on the other end. Rebound looks the same, this time to Summer. And back at the other end, just what Boone needed.
Will Cooley on the pass from Joan Orta. So now back to a 7-point game. Still manageable for Boone. Obviously, they're going to need some unanswered baskets, but they keep the game at arm's length. Through the paint, Malachi Bruffett.
Couple stop-and-go moves, pays off dividends, and Boone will go back to work. Cooley gets it stripped on the reverse, on the spin at the other end. Darner takes the pass, and he'll go to the line as he gets contact violated on the way up.
Foul's called against Braves number 5, Tremaine Woods. That's his second personal foul, the team's second, and it sends Tate Darner to line shooting 2. $15 becomes $16 for him.
So Darner with 16, make that 17 points. Knox right behind him with 16. That's 33 of the 50 points. So that's 66 2/3%. Santa Fe's, and they got a chance to up that now. Lane coming out of that pack quickly. The pass over to Knox.
Lane to Ethan Knox for a Hawks dunk.
So Santa Fe throughout this game, and they'll have another chance to do this. They've chosen their spots for those transition opportunities and get fancy, the razzle-dazzle, and they've chosen well. They're not a team that's really tried a lot to get outside of the basic, the fundamentals in terms of execution, but the 4 or 5 times they have looked really good. As Darner will take a trip to the lane, he sweeps through the lane and gets tripped.
Foul's called against Will Cooley. It's his 4th personal foul, the team's 3rd, and that will send Tate Darner back to the free throw line, shooting 2.
Leading scorers for Boone, Summer and Cooley. Again, Boone looking for its first win of the season. They lost their first 2 games. They're young teams in terms of varsity level experience.
Checking into the game for the Braves, Hunter Thomason.
Something of a down year last year, 13-12. Boone used to going to the FHSA playoffs.
Darner knocking on the door of 20 points now.
On the other hand, Santa Fe coming off a 24-6 record as well as a Sweet 16 appearance.
Brubaker wanted an alley-oop there, but Summer didn't meet him in the right spot. Instead, it's going to be a held ball. Possession, Braves.
And 45 seconds remaining. And wasn't it that long ago, Mark, we were saying it was a 7-point deficit? Now it's 15.
I do recall that, Neil. It wasn't very long ago.
Again, going back to my point of picking your spots to do the razzle-dazzle and to create that emphatic play.
Hawks foul is called against number 4. Ethan Knox is 2nd, team's 3rd.
So Boone back to work. Last half minute of the 3rd quarter. The spin by Summer. Contact and a smart play. Bounced it off of Knox's feet.
Summer knew he was losing that dribble, and he wasn't going to get it back in bounds.
So see if Boone can take advantage, turn that smart play into points. So through the lane, the up and over, too much force. And a nice rebound by Bruffett. And at the other end, scoop shot.
Tate Darner. Now officially crossing 20 to 21.
And the lead up to 17. Get that back down to 14.
JP Vavshar to Connor Summer.
3 seconds remaining. Darner steps back, rims in and out, and that will bring the 3rd quarter to an end. So pretty much it was all in terms of the scoreboard, in terms of Santa Fe, they took a 6-point lead into halftime, now up to 14. Did an excellent job of answering Boone, and then had a handful, 4 or 5 plays in which they looked good and extend that lead to 14 points. 56-42 as we head into the final quarter of day number 2 from Joe A. Sterling Gymnasium.
Elevate Orlando is a civic nonprofit focused on helping students grow in strength of character and application of essential life skills, teaching these in the classroom and modeling them through mentoring outside the classroom where they spend more than half their time. They are an accredited elective course through OCPS and feature more than 1,500 students with 14 OCPS partner schools, a 98% graduation rate, and 96% post-secondary placement. Visit them at Elevate Orlando. We also want to thank Low Wood and his team at Excel Speed for their support of the Metro vs. Florida Challenge. They have 3 opportunities for you to get involved in their training programs. Chaz Williams has the Apopka training program on Monday and Wednesday. There's a speed and agility training for all sports offered in East Orlando on Monday and Wednesday as well. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can catch fitness training at CFCA. Visit excelspeed.com for more information.
So back to live action as the fourth quarter starts. And again, Boone down 56-42, a 14-point deficit. 6 points at half. Added 8 more to that lead. As Darner, one-on-one, picks up the pick, swings around along the baseline. The attack out to Lane. Wide open on the left wing. Splash from Nafala.
From Cyrus Nafala from Toby Lane.
Couldn't ask for better execution. And the lead now up to 17, largest of the game. For Santa Fe. Again, Santa Fe out of Lakeland. They're Santa Fe Catholic. Going against this young, inexperienced at the varsity level Boone team.
And Neil, this bears overtones of the Oak Ridge Oviedo game that we saw yesterday, where we had just such back and forth intensity,
and
then finally, Oviedo just ran out of gas before Oak Ridge did.
Yeah, Oak Ridge took control. I don't remember what the run was, but it was about a difference of about 10 points in the last 2 minutes. And you could just feel from that point on that it was all Oak Ridge. And like you said, Oviedo was just running out of gas. They were shifting between 3rd and 4th, and Oak Ridge was shifting between 5th and 6th as Lane, the easy deuce, nice pass.
Transition layup from Toby Lane. And now you kind of sense that pattern starting to emerge here as Boone just they look a little tired as they're going up and down the court, and Santa Fe looks like they still got some pep in their step, even here in the fourth quarter. And now Joe Norda slips into the key for 2. And honestly, Santa Fe made that a little too easy for him.
Yeah, and it's not just physically in terms of it looks like they're running out of gas. It also looks mentally and emotionally. Again, it looks like they need a few more games of varsity level to get that endurance level back up, that concentration, just so they, to know what to expect.
Stop, pop, drop. There it is. Toby Lane on the jumper.
So Lane now with 10 points.
Make it 12 with that jumper.
12 points.
And so he joins the double-digit club along with Darner and Knox.
Yeah, 51 of the 63 points now scored by Santa Fe. Darner takes it back, top of the key. And now Santa Fe slowing down the pace. It looks like they could use a breath too.
Yeah, and why not? The clock is their friend at this point. And at least for this season, there's still no shot clock, but now we're going to get Jacob Lackey gets in on the action for the Hawks. I have heard rumors that, of course, if you've been following FHSAA policy, FHSAA gets a little bit more liberal with the shot clock guidance every year as we get a backcourt violation, Hawks ball. But FHSAA policy gets a little more liberal. At first, it was only sanctioned events like special tournament events, and then maybe some postseason games where you could apply to have the shot clock if you wanted it. Then it had to have consent by both schools last year if you wanted to use a shot clock, because the NFHS has had this in the books for years. And now finally this year the FHSAA has said the host school can unilaterally implement a shot clock. The visiting school does not have to agree to it anymore. So you buy a shot clock, you install it, you can use it. Foul is called against Braves number 5, Tremaine Woods. That's his third personal foul, team's first of this quarter. So bottom line, all that to say is that you may see a shot clock make a debut in Central Florida next year. I have heard that there are some procurement practices going on in Orange County, looking at the logistics and how that would be facilitated. In all the coaches I've ever talked to, I don't think I've ever heard anybody offer me a philosophical disagreement for why a shot clock would be a bad idea in high school basketball. It really is just a matter of the expense and the logistics. Who's going to install it? Who's going to run it? And how are we going to pay for it? And be consistent, at least across the county. And so people are working on it.
As we speak.
3 for J.P. Babshar.
So lead now down to 18. And Mark, just want to take a couple minutes here. I do this every game since the event is named after Earl Graham.
Foul is called against Braves number 3, Makari Massey. That's his 4th, the team's 2nd.
And also, don't want to get too much into this, but I also feel it's important to bring it up because I know, of course, you, Mark, feel the same way I do. We both miss Coach Graham very much. He passed away in January of 2021.
Basket scored by number 5,
But in general, Coach Graham was one of those individuals who many young individuals, now even middle age, can look back and say he had a positive influence, and I was lucky to have met him. So he was an assistant coach for over 50 years, never was a head coach, and he was very much one of those coaches who worked behind the scenes.
Babshar is called with the hit. That's his 2nd, the team's 3rd, and that will send KJ Foster to shoot 2.
Yesterday we had our 7 games played at Lake Highland Prep because that was where Coach Graham spent several years during the early part of his career. And then he hooked up with Coach Williams when Wekiva High School opened in 2007. In 2014, after 7 seasons at Wekiva, Coach Williams decided to come up here to Apopka, and Coach Graham came with them. But again, he was a great coach in terms of development. He was the kind of coach who could take a average player and turn him into an all-district, even a few all-states, with hard work and dedication. But more importantly, I think if you ask about 99% of the players he worked with, they say that even more so, they were grateful for his desire and dedication to helping them develop as men.
3 for Charlie Hedden.
And, of course, they were better off ready for life and whatever life offered because they were working with Coach Graham and his focus on the person and the individual. I just like to say, and I've said this over and over, but to me it really is what really impressed me about his dedication. He was a firefighter by trade, and I often was at Wekiva and Apopka maybe 3 dozen times. I had to get there when school opened at 7:15. For those of you who are listening to me for the first time, my main job is I'm a reporter with the Apopka Chief. I cover Apopka and Wekiva High School athletics. So that's my connection. And, of course, I had about 3 dozen times I had to go up to one of those 2 schools. And Coach Graham had already been working an hour and a half, 2 hours with the player in the gym, which means he was getting up there and opening that gym and beginning his work with the player while the sun was still, before the sun rose.
Team control foul is called against Charlie Hedden. That's his first, team's first.
And again, I just bring that up because that really impressed me in terms of his dedication and commitment. Coach Graham did not have the convenience of being somebody who worked at the school. He had another job, so he came there, worked with the players, and then went to his other job, whereas most coaches are already having to be at the school.
Yeah, certainly as he neared the end of his career, as we get a 3 from Uriah Newkirk. he may not have been running up and down the court with the players as fast as he used to, but he never lost that work ethic. Like, he was working hard to the extent that he was physically able right up to the very end in 50-plus years of coaching. And it's hard to imagine saying that, 50 years of coaching is still gone too soon, but it really is still gone too soon.
Yeah, it just always felt, when the news broke, of course, it wasn't a surprise. As I mentioned, he passed from COVID, and he had been in the hospital a couple weeks before he actually passed. But it still felt like he had more work to do.
Well, and now he continues to do that work through the scholarship program that Scott Williams set up in his name that, of course, benefits from the Metro versus Florida Challenge here.
Yeah, and also, since we only have a little over a minute, stick around as we will. One other thing we do is honor, one other way we honor Coach Graham is through the MVP. It's named after him.
Team control foul is called against Devin Harris. It's his first. The team's second.
Cooley, the launch off the heel, under a minute now, and Santa Fe will bring it up. And so, again, I think you put it best, Mark. This young and inexperienced at the varsity level Boone team, they came, they showed their wares, and they really showed that they have potential, but not quite yet. They're going to need some more seasoning. For the first 10 minutes, 7 lead changes, 7 ties. They gave Santa Fe all they could handle, and then they started to run out of gas. Santa Fe's experience, again, 24-6 last year, a Sweet 16 appearance, 13-12 for Boone, with several new players in and playing at the varsity level for the first time. A 18-3 run beginning with about 2 minutes remaining. They led 31-25 Santa Fe Catholic at halftime. And that 18-3 run continued into the second half. So now they enjoy their biggest lead at 26 as Cooley sits up. And can't see specifically what the injury is, but it is certainly a lower body injury. And now he gets up.
Connor Summer makes his way off with the assistance of our athletic training and coaching teams.
Excuse me, it was Connor Summer. And so there's 15.7 seconds officially remaining. Nope, that's going to do it. The game, they're doing the handshake line. So
that's going to take us to the conclusion of our final score here in our final game of day 2. It's a 73-47 victory for the Santa Fe Hawks for the Metro, or for the Florida contingency here in Game 14 of the 14th annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. We want to thank everyone for coming out to support your Hawks and Braves athletes. Before you go, though, we've got one more piece of hardware to hand out, and that is the MVP plaque presented in memory of Coach Earl Graham, our long-term assistant coach here at Apopka, who coached and impacted thousands of lives throughout Central Florida. Please read our tribute to Coach Graham in our digital program on page 7 to learn more about this remarkable man. Coach Graham's son, Rod Graham, is here to present the MVP plaque, and going in all directions on both sides of the court tonight. Ethan Knox had 18 points to be the second leading scorer for the Hawks, and also was crashing boards and doing defense all night. Ethan Knox is your Game 14 MVP. So we'll leave it there for tonight. That concludes day 2 of the 14th annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. Thanks for coming out to Joe Sterling Gymnasium to support your Hawk and Brave athletes, or just to watch some great basketball. Thanks also to those of you who joined us online on YouTube or the NFHS Network. We hope you will subscribe before you go, and we hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your loved ones. We are off tomorrow. No games. Please enjoy Thanksgiving with you and yours, and then we will see you back here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium bright and early or at least early Friday morning at 11 a.m., where we will have 7 more games of basketball action and then 7 more on Saturday. Until then, good night from Apopka High School.